Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about rubbers or erasers. Now I realise when you say I'm going to rub something out, some people might find that funny. I will call them rubbers and erasers, and I'll probably talk about rubbing out. If you find that funny, that's good. I thought I didn't have much to say about erasers, but it turns out that I do. Not on their brands though. I've bought some less than cheap rubbers. I've been tempted into buying them in beautiful stationery shops. But as I hardly use them, I don't feel qualified to advise on this one or that. Perhaps you will insist on this one or that, and you can do that in the comments, but I'm not all that fussed about what I use as long as it works. And if what you're using already works, it works. If it doesn't, fix it or replace it. I'm not keen on the image of trees being scarified and sacrificed to pay for my writing mistakes, though I think the erasers that I do have are plastic and not rubber from rubber trees. The erasers at the top ends of pencils, this is a small bit of stuff I've noticed, have a tendency to dry out very quickly. When this happens, they smear the graphite of the letters across the page rather than bundling it off into shreds. I hate having to rub out my rubbing out, trying to get rid of an area of greasy grey smearage rather than dryly lifting off 18 or 7 wrong letters. Yet again, I'm back at school, making a messy page messier. I always get low marks for any marks I make. Perhaps it was at primary school, Russell School in Ampthill, that I was taught to write first with ink, then correct with pencil. That seems a natural way around. Words written in pencil read as suggestions, while those in pen are assertions or statements. To reverse the order and put in here and there changes to a pencil draft using a black pen seems to me almost sarcastic. Does anyone do that? Do you do that? It's like God correcting Adam's homework. What I can imagine is an all-over-the-place rough draft in pencil through which the writer makes their decisive way with an ink second draft on the same page. This would involve tracing over some of the same letters, copying rather than writing. Weird, but with a kind of logic. Do you do this? This is how illustrators and comics artists work. Pencil followed by pen, rough circles followed by beautifully inked faces. So, I don't know that I have that much to say on erasers themselves, but I have some advice on erasing. Don't ever. This isn't just because I find it unpleasant. A page where some rubbing out has taken place never, to me, feels entirely smooth and clean again. I really don't want to write on it. I find it an annoyance to tip rubbings off into the bin. Because of the width of the page, some always seems to end up on the floor. The carpet or boards will have to be vacuumed all the sooner. The reason for constantly using an eraser, if I were to give one, would be that I have to get this version of the sentence right on this page. The previous versions will only continue existing as ghostly underwritings on a wearing away wood pulp surface. I can see how a writer might like this as a process, but like a maths teacher I feel forced to say, show your workings out. Better to fill half a page with 14 failed versions of a sentence than have them all flicked away into the waste paper basket by your little finger. In my opinion, you need to see what you have done. Rereading and rereading the redrafted versions of a sentence, you may, in doing this, be able to see the way it's tending. Are you heading for a simplicity that's achievable? Or are you unnecessarily fussing your sense up with subclauses and adjectives? Cut unnecessarily in that sentence. Draw a line through it, but leave it with a chance of resurrecting. Don't rub it out. Even if I've been working with pencil on a pen-written draft, I don't rub out my crossings out. I write the word or phrase in again above its previous version. This to me is a truer account of the thinking that's going on, and I'll repeat this crossing out and re-adding as many times as it happens. The purpose of each draft is to make a better next draft possible, only that. So, does it turn out that you have strong views about this? Are you passionate about how you use your rubber? Will you defend that against all attacks? Please like, share and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon.